The entire team at Emsolation want to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. We want to recognise that we are recording and telling our stories on the stolen land of our country's first storytellers. We wish to pay our respects to all Wurundjeri elders and ancestors, and to extend that respect to any First Nations peoples who listen to Emsolation. We recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples' continued connection to the land and waters of this country, and acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. Always was, always will be.
Extra.
It's Emsolation Extra. Well, hey there. Welcome to Emsolation. My name is Em Rusciano. I'm a writer, a singer, a stand-up comedian, a maximalist power queen, a neurodivergent magic brain, and a podcaster. And today is a very exciting day. I am joined by one of my all-time favourite performers. I speak, of course, of a Drag Race Australia's Art Simone. But before she was on Drag Race, she has been an absolute staple, a legend, which makes her sound old, but she's not that old. Around the drag scene in Australia, she's polished, she's incredible, controversially voted off quite early in her Drag Race season, but then brought back by Ru, which was even more controversial. She's just one of my most favourite humans. You know why? Because she's passionate about what she does. You know I'm drawn to passion. Now, I warn you, this chat is very in. If you are not a Drag Race fan, look, hang on for dear life. You're going to learn some things. And please check out Art's podcast. It's called Concealed. Second season just dropped. It's so great.
Hello, I'm Art Simone. I stand out everywhere I go because I'm gorgeous, clearly. But not everyone is like me. A lot of the time we're surrounded by people that seem a bit bland, dull, uninteresting even. Ugh. So I'm taking it upon myself to find the colourful characters among us, even if they seem a bit beige at first glance. I don't know what characters I'll be meeting with or what they're keeping concealed. All I know is that they're interesting enough to be talking to me. Welcome to Concealed with Art Simone.
But right now, I want you just to get ready. It's about to get very loud, very cackly, very wheezy. Please enjoy my chat with the wonderful Art Simone.
Emsolation Extra.
We'll just get straight to it. It's going to be so much chaos. You'll hear by that iconic laugh. Joining me now, one of my all-time favourite drag queens, Art Simone.
Hello. I'm here.
Now, you might find it hard to tell the difference between the two of us.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll just drop my tone a little bit lower. Hello.
Both of us taking our performance cues from Cap Day Night.
Well, it's what you got to do, you know.
I find myself slipping into her on stage.
Yes.
Literally halfway through a stand-up, I'm just myself. I'm not even in character.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'll spot someone in the audience. So, you're right, doll, put your ankles away, you slut.
My favourite is like I'll be interviewing someone, I'll be talking to them and they start like parroting me. And so then we just like try and cath up each other and we're just like, well, anybody here, I'm going over here, blah, 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 blah. And then no one knows what's going on. It's terrible.
No, it's amazing. It's so camp. It's so good. I'm so glad to have you here. I can't believe it's taken us this long.
I know. But I think it's good, you know, we've got to wait for a good thing and this is going to be a good thing because if you waited long enough that my NDA has run out. So, I was emailed directly by World of Wonder and they said, just letting you know the NDA is for life.
Oh, no.
That's fine.
Who cares?
That's fine.
Who's listening to Emsolation,
no,
whatever.
It's fine.
We are talking about RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. And I couldn't bring myself to watch it for a long time. Even though you were on and someone that I love and adore and have known for a long time, because I honestly feel like it didn't represent Australian drag as I know it. How did you honestly...
Let it out, come on.
I mean, what people don't realise is you were having to watch it while we were all on lockdown, right? So you could do nothing and you were the Ricky Lee of Australian drag. You were voted out far too early.
Yeah, it was a lot going on. Yeah, we were in and out of lockdowns. But we knew when we stepped on the set that it wasn't going to go down really well.
What the fuck, man?
Look, because I was the first one in there. I walked in, said my line, and I said, is this it? Because I had been to DragCon before and been many times, but one of the years they actually set the American workroom up at DragCon. so you could walk around and do photos and see what it was like. So I knew how big it was, how tall it was.
High quality.
How many, it was amazing. And then I walked into that and I was like, I was like, fucking hell.
And they shoot it in New Zealand, which is the other thing.
We're literally in a shed. You know, like industrial areas that have like the shed and then the little office. That was two of those next to each other. One was the main
Probably
stage.
a meth lab too over from you.
Of course. But they also shoot the block in there, the New Zealand block, and like they're like, under this purple paint is the block floor, and then there's this, and then there's that. You know, multi-purpose spaces.
They were probably doing crews to and from as well. Wouldn't surprise me.
But it was, we walked in and we just knew from that moment. But even the workroom being so small, I was in denial. You know, the first episode, I was like, maybe it's like that year on Big Brother where there was 2 houses and then maybe this wall is going to be knocked down and there's the rest of the workroom. They're testing us. I reckon they're testing us.
Never came.
No.
Dylan. And just the standard between New Zealand drag and Australian drag. I'm sorry. I mean, with all due respect, which isn't much, our level is so much higher.
Yeah.
The polish.
But when you have an
you
entire...
wear pantyhose.
Yeah.
You tuck. I just feel like I was watching going, oh, no, don't throw us in with those Kiwis.
Look, I think we had to make a lot of compromises because it was like the two countries together, and I don't think we'll ever get an accurate representation of Australian drag or New Zealand drag. We're having us both together. We're not the same.
No.
We're not similar at all. So it's weird that we are together. It's like putting, I don't know, like Japan and Germany together. Like, why? So I don't know.
Are you spiritually recovered from the trauma?
I am actually.
That was far too fast, bitch.
No,
I
am. Because I was thinking about this the other day because what I did post-show, post-lockdown, all of that, we put together a show, et cetera, and I, as seen on TV. And we addressed a lot in that.
Yes, I know. I watched, yes.
And one of the final numbers we do is we do a quote track where it's like all the things we said in the show, but we play each other. So every night I had to watch her scream, that means nothing, and cry and this and that. And now it's just funny.
Now I don't cry myself to sleep.
No, I love it. I'm like, God, what a camp bitch.
Oh, I'm glad because I was worried for you because I know you're a perfectionist. I know how talented you are. And I could feel that you would have been watching it, especially during lockdown, and then having to deal with the fandom. If you are not across the Drag Race
my
fandom,
goodness.
You think NASCAR people, you think the
manners.
the redneck bogan race car fans are more behaved than the Drag Race fandom.
Yep. They're just rancid. I'm sorry.
They are rancid.
They're rancid.
That's what the title of the episode is tonight.
Rancid with
nuts.
keyboards. Rancid with keyboards.
Oh my God.
That's what they are. They're awful people. And they like, everybody say love. Meanwhile, you should die because you sent the one that I love home. You're a piece of shit. Go kill yourself. And you're like, oh, okay, well, you weren't in the room, babe. So...
Oh my God, and it's just drag.
It's just drag.
It's just drag.
Would say that to me, though. But just drag. This is my life.
This is my life. It's fine, Em. Fuck you.
But yeah, no, I'm feeling a lot better about it now because, like, even when it finished, I was like, oh, I would never do. I'm never not going back. I remember
really
the finale night where we were open. The borders were open for like a week. So we're in Sydney for the finale viewing. We're in like a penthouse at the Ivy, and we watched it all happen. Then it happened, and I just had the biggest release. I was just like, it's over. It's over. Because to backtrack, when we're in lockdown, we didn't get to see any of the love. All we got was like the negative, hate. Because the whole world was stuck watching it. But it wasn't until we started like going out later on that people were like, oh no, I loved it. Because they're the ones that like, they're not always going to comment. They're not always going to send you love. It's the angry people. But I remember going back to the hotel after we watched the episode. I brought my like 3 closest friends. They were sitting in the hotel, like on the beds. I was in the bathroom, like scream crying.
Oh,
had the longest shower of my life. And then I came up and scream cried more. And I was like, never let me do anything like that again. I don't want to say I'm thankful for this, but like Drag Race taught me to like have emotions again. You know what I mean? Like, I hadn't cried in years until I got in that set. And then I cried for a good, 2 years afterwards. And now I feel good.
Oh, she was emotionally constipated. She
Thank you,
shat
Mama
out.
Roo. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama Roo, for my trauma. Thank you so much for helping me grow as a person. I totally, completely and utterly understand.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word. There's so many points in my career where I've looked at my family and said, never.
Yeah.
Let me ever do that again. Because it was, I was doing Masked Singer around the same time. Everyone was in lockdown. And I was thinking, I had to get an immigration lawyer to get home from Sydney to Melbourne.
Well, that's when we were filming Drag Race, the bubble closed. Yeah. And I got stuck in New Zealand for an extra 3 weeks after we finished filming. So I'd been there for 6-7 weeks already. And we couldn't tell anyone where we were. We weren't allowed to leave the hotel because they might see you. I'm like, I think they know by now. I think the world has worked out who is on this season of Drag Race. But no, we had to stay locked up. And they got to the point where they were like, all right, we can't afford to give you a hotel anymore. So you either have to go home and pay for quarantine and do quarantine or you have to make the call really soon. And thank fuck, the border opened for 2 days. Quickly got home, straight to Mardi Gras. Because if we quarantined, we would have missed all of Mardi Gras. So that's all the bookings. And we hadn't worked for months before because lockdown and blah, 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 blah. Drama.
No, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I remember being told, no, you can't get home to Melbourne. You can't get home to the children.
Nah.
So we had to literally employ immigration lawyers and went to court just so I could cross the fucking border at Albury. Do you know how many times I've crossed that border in my car driving to gigs because I couldn't afford a fucking plane flight? No. And now I need top brass immigration lawyer that got Shapelle Corby home. It was wild. It was a wild time.
And you're not making resin clocks now?
No.
Do you know I have a Shapelle Corby resin clock?
Shut up.
I had to get one.
Can I tell you, my
friend? And she
friend...
DM'd me and she's like, I just worked out it's you. She'd and sent me a screenshot that she'd Googled my name and had a picture. And she's like, I'm standing in line at the post office. If I knew, I would have written a message. Meanwhile, open the resin clock and there's already a message on it. She must write them on all of them. And it's got a page reference to a page in her book. And she's like, I may try and clear my name one day, but in the meantime, I'm just happy. And it is the campus piece of Australiana.
Where did you see it?
Where she sells them.
This is a thing?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh, Shapelle Corby.
No, has merch.
She sells hand-makes resin clocks.
Shut up. What? What do you mean she of all the things?
Yes, go look at her on Instagram. She literally makes resin clocks and she walks along the beach and picks some shells and she does these ocean resin clocks.
She crafts.
Yes.
She fucking
It's heaven. You need one for here.
How
I'll
much
tell
do
you
they
what.
cost?
$200, $250.
I mean, it's a bargain.
Yeah, bloody hell.
It pays for itself.
I know. So she did a limited edition black series. So, because I'm a little goth boy, I was like, I'll take one of those, thanks.
That's the cat.
And she signed
Order
it.
me a clock.
Yeah. Go look at them now. See what's available on the website. We'll pop it up here.
Oh.
But please support Shapelle Corby. Go on.
Oh, God. My friend Ruby's claim to fame is Shapelle Corby's sister's dog bit her on the vagina. My friend Ruby, and she had to go to emergency and Mercedes went to emergency with her. Literally. They met on a night out. They were drunk in a taxi.
Oh, heaven.
The dog bit her on the shin and Ruby ended up in hospital to get a tetanus shot with Mercedes beside her. Then she ended up playing Mercedes in Shapelle Corby the musical. How's that for a story? Fucking love Ruby.
Now just add a resin clock to it and you're done.
Clock.
Yeah.
Oh, that's made my day.
And every note, it comes with a note too.
I can't tell you how much I want to leave this recording right now.
She's like, this is a 10-year quartz thing, but the hands are very fragile. They're very fragile.
Do you think she learned to make clocks in prison?
I don't know.
It's an odd skill.
She might have read a book. I don't know.
It's just not something I'd attribute to her if I thought, what's your skill?
No.
What's your secret skill?
But she just seems so chill and happy
making.
now. I love it. I love it.
Sure.
Everyone go and support Shapelle Corby's clock business.
Sure.
Oh, and a little single,
Oh, God. Have you ever done her in drag?
No. Well, after I saw Karen do it on the season, I was like, okay, we don't need to do that again.
It's Karen from Finance.
Yes, watching her try to explain.
I'll be pressing this shade button that I have here right now.
Watching her explain to Ru who Shapelle Corby was the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he didn't even know who Bindi Irwin was, so no luck at all. But he's like, what? And she's like, yeah, she went to prison. She had a boogie board of marijuana, so I've got a big spliff. And Ru's just like, okay.
Oh. And why would Rue lower herself to learn any Australian culture whatsoever?
Oh, imagine that.
Is she married to an Australian though?
Yeah, well, apparently.
Oh, well, they've got an open relationship.
Yeah, open relationship. I guess they live in different parts of the country / world.
Of the world,
sometimes.
yeah.
One's on the fracking ranch.
In
and
Wyoming,
Yeah,
doing
and
the
then
fracking.
well, we've seen her house
Oh,
now.
AD.
Heaven.
I watched it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, I don't think she lives there ever, but that drag room, I was like, that is not a drag.
It's a mausoleum.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
The makeup room is not one item of makeup
when has
in
that
it.
person done their own makeup?
I was like, when did you get your own
1985.
house? Like, but heaven, she's got
Heaven.
it because she can have it.
It's everything I want.
I love it so
I feel
much.
like it just sits there.
I know.
I just can't imagine. I just think like Rue would just go back into her coffin and sleep upside down.
Rue, we liken Rue to an animatronic at Disneyland.
Yes.
Because when she's on, but then when the cameras are not rolling, she conserves that energy. She just like literally just goes.
I need to learn that.
Amazing.
I need to fucking learn that.
It's amazing.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's one of the most professional and talented TV stars I've ever worked with in my life. And it was amazing to see in person. She's a fucking machine.
What did you learn from watching her? I'm intrigued.
Well,
Tell me that you can say.
No, I think that's the main thing. It's like her work ethic and her professionalism is amazing. Sure, she doesn't sit down and go, and how are you, darling? I'm so grateful to be here. No, too busy, love.
Not much talking going on off camera?
Not at all, not at all. Just every now and then, like...
if you cry about a childhood trauma, she might step towards you.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. It was more like if she'd say a celebrity that was going to be Zoom, on the Zoom screen because it was COVID and we didn't know who they were. So she'd be like, 10-inch cock. And we'd be like, yay! That's the only way she could get us to like seem like we were excited. So little moments like that we appreciate. But she was just so professional and like quick and smart. And, she's got her earpiece in, but she's still listening to you and having a conversation, looking like she's like in it, but still like delivering. It is, that's an art form in itself. Have you ever done anything where they're like feeding you lines?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's cool.
Oh no, I struggle on the project especially.
Oh my God.
I'd take it out.
Yeah, I'd done it once when I did like a episode on The Bachelor and I was like doing one-on-ones with the girls and they're weeping and crying and the producer's like telling me the next question to ask and I'm like, like trying, my eyes twitching while I'm like they better cut around this for fuck's sake. But I felt like a spy.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I was like,
I learned how to tell line producers to fuck off with just my eyes too when they're in my room and I want them to shut up. It's a skill you acquire in television, I have to tell you.
It's camp.
Yes.
So I really liked that. Yeah, really cool. And there's so many funny moments because like it was filmed in a shed. So like there were moments when we're under a flight path. So and it's just a tin shed roof. So like Rue would be like, hold for planes. And then everything would just stop for a second. And that's when Rue would power down and be like.
Just the idea of her being out there though.
Oh, it's so weird.
Her being in a shed in New Zealand. And Michelle as well.
So I remember she walked on because we only had the two.
And the lighting.
Well, the lighting in the workroom, amazing, because everyone looked a lot better on screen in the workroom than they did in person, myself included. But the runway lighting cooked. It's like weird green, like...
Oh, my God.
I don't know what that is.
It's not great.
No,
But look, also let Ansel, look at you. Just
very
out
grateful.
There, killing. We love it.
Thank you. I love World of Wonder. Yes. I love you so much. If you feel like calling, let me know. It's all right. I'm ready to just, be good.
You can't do any more work, you fucking gig pig. Gig.pig.com.
Oh, you got to keep busy.
So, are you addicted to busy?
Yes.
Are you afraid to be alone with your thoughts on what might happen?
Yes, 100%. But I thought that was obvious.
Same. I spot a sister in arms.
Like I broke my foot at World Pride, kept working. But no, didn't know it was broken. Everyone's like, yeah, it's just sprained, because they I had a lot of work. It's World Pride. So I just kept going for 17 days.
Oh my God, stories.
Oh my God.
I was invested.
Yeah, it was like a purple foot. Anyway, and then I finally got back and a few weeks later they worked out it was broken, blah, blah, blah. So then I had to stop working for a month just to give myself time. Pardon?
Were you okay?
Mentally or physically?
Mentally.
Oh, mentally, absolutely not.
Oh my
it was
God.
My poor manager. I was like, what are we doing? I can do a Zoom. It's fine. Let's do a Zoom. Let's do something.
And you feel like your career's over when you do a forced dress,
literally.
right? I ring when I'm doing forced dress, I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm irrelevant.
Literally.
And you watch other people doing gigs on Instagram, you're like, oh, fuck.
That's why I was like, anything Zoom, it's fine. I can do it. It's fine. We'll do I'll do a bingo. I don't care.
Oh,
it's
no,
fine.
I can't. It takes me back to lockdown.
Yeah, oh.
No more Zoom performances. I absolutely cannot do
But
that.
in that moment, I was like, let's bring it on. Let's go. All right. He's like, why don't you have a break? I'm like, no.
But to what end? What do you want to do? All of this furious work, and you do, like, we'll talk about the podcast, you're gigging, you're driving down to Geelong still, like, you're doing so much work. You were the hardest working drag queen, and that is a big call because Bianca Del Rio hasn't had a night off since she did All Stars. No, she did All Stars. What'd she win, season 6?
Yes.
Yes. Not that I have an encyclopedic knowledge of all contestants. No, I can't. We'll talk about that. I feel weird talking about my love of Drag Race too much because so many straight white women do it and I feel a bit yucky, but we'll talk about that later. So to what end? What is the goal?
The goal for me is I really want to move into more into mainstream Aussie media. I've done stuff overseas, but my people are back home. I bloody love it here. And they're, that's the people I like to entertain and speak to. So I really want to move into more mainstream media. It could be my own little show. It could be just I want to be a guest judge not a guest. I want to be a judge on a panel. I love judging people.
So do I.
Yeah, it'd be quite fun. But I think there's so many fun places within Aussie media that I could slot into and no one would bat an eyelid. It's a bit harder at the moment because everyone hates drag queens because we're trying to, groom children apparently.
Groom away. Take all of my children and please bring them back to me as the you.
I don't want to read to kids.
That was my whole point. We should be protecting drag queens from children.
Absolutely.
From children.
Literally.
You should see those sticky little dickheads. I have one. He's 4. He's disgusting.
Yeah, nah.
And you beautiful creature should not be subjected to the stuff Elio just talks about. Actually, he used shit and penises. Well, it's not foreign topics for you all.
Yeah, it's about the same. Yeah, but
it was always wild to me. It was like, wait, you worried about the kids?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, no.
And it's not like you're getting up and doing your 1 a.m. set from Molly's.
No.
It's not like you're sitting down there. It's weird. It's okay for me to jump on a giant dick at the Opera House stage. No one bats an eyelid. It's fine.
It's just diversion tactics. It's all just, especially at home, we're just parroting stuff they see overseas and we should feel strongly about this. And why? You didn't care about it for the last million years.
Forever.
Yeah.
Have you personally had any blowback from being a drag queen considering what's been going on?
So the only area we've had it back in is we do a festival called the Dragged Out Festival in Beechworth, which is a regional drag festival. We did our first year last year, and we're back this year in November. And we do a family-friendly matinee fun drag show. And we had picketers, we had people doing vox pops that then got turned into this weird angry video of being look at these groomers who are all encouraging this, blah, 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 blah. It's
encouraging what? Fun, glitter, and campery?
Literally, we edited so many funny fart noises into our matinee drag show, and the kids were screaming.
I'm telling you, fart and poo jokes,
but
get them in.
What made it even funnier is Filmer did the edit and for Miss Filmer Box, and she didn't tell any of us. So it was even more fun for her watching us because we were like, I will survive. Oh.
I love it.
Camp.
It's all camp.
Yeah.
And lovely. I saw the Lay Girls. It was the first, my dad took me, I think he was on the way home from a gig and we stopped in at St Kilda. I was with him. And so my first experience with drag was when I was very young. But it was really normalised in my household and I've kind of grown up and I'm always really shocked when I get pulled out into the real world where people have an issue with it. And I was like, but why? It's so strange, isn't it? I don't know. I hope it starts to. Do you feel like do you worry that it's going to get to the point in Australia where it is in the States? Are you genuinely worried? I know you don't like to get political. I know you're a people pleaser. I know you don't want to get anyone not to like you.
Yeah, look, I know you cannot not be worried because we've seen so many events being shut down from,
my local library in Eltham.
Yeah.
They had to shut it down.
Yeah.
Because Dean Curie, what's Dean's drag name?
Frock Hudson.
Frock Hudson. Frock was due to read a book. Out in Eltham, I was just personally, I feel like I need to apologise to the entire drag community on behalf of my municipality.
Yeah, it is, and it's starting to affect not only, drag queen jobs as well, but it's also affecting all the kids and rainbow families that, really enjoy those moments. And it's scary for them. It's sure, you put the event on, but then the kids have to deal with angry picketers with masks on out the front. It's just not right. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to get as bad as it is over there. But I'm waiting for the next thing for them to focus on. Can we Go on.
Leave
Next.
us alone. Leave us be.
Leave us alone.
Or I'm doing a cleansing harp. I have a cleansing harp. So before we move on to your amazing podcast, which I've listened to, I'm going to ask you a question that I feel defines everybody. Okay. Who is your all-time favourite Drag Race contestant? And I'm gonna give you season 7 and under because it's too controversial for you to do anyone past that. And also after season 7, I stopped memorising the queens for some reason.
Yeah, no,
I feel like the
it's
first
when the
7
machine really started to amp up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was like, oh my God. And they all, because I think there's, as an individual as we all are, there's only X amount type of drag queens. So by season 7 onwards, you're like, oh, you're similar to this person, which, I hate when people do that to us being like, oh, you're just like that. But if we're being realistic, it's like, it's all kind of the same. You're either a camp queen or a comedy queen or a fashion queen or blah, 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 blah. Okay, so.
Take your time.
Can I have a couple?
Yes.
Okay, so it was always.
I almost want to guess.
No,
No.
guess.
Raven.
Yeah.
Same.
It was.
I feel like we're going to have the same favourites.
Yeah, it was always Raven.
Raven.
I loved her. I loved
flawless.
her. And then, down from that, it was Manila because Manila was just so.
You've got a Manila wig on today.
Yeah, just so camp. And I loved her.
Did you see she's in trouble for her padum?
They're in trouble. Why is she in trouble?
Because people are saying it's vulgar and disgusting.
Well, of course it is.
I know.
She's a drag queen.
Correct. And you think Kylie's upset?
She's selling lube.
No.
Come on. She's selling flavoured lube.
It's amazing. It's so good.
I know. I mean,
Yes.
I did listen to that. I was like, but then I was like, camp. Go for it.
Yes.
Bloody go for it.
Yes.
Yeah, Manila, because I loved a lot of her really clever fashion references, because, and it was very Priscilla-y drag to me, which I of course love. So those two. And then also, a little bit Sharon, but we don't talk about Sharon anymore. Sharon's been ousted. So. Oh, no.
Sharon
Poor
Needles.
Sharon. Close your mouth. That's all right.
Stop talking.
Yeah, please.
Who do you think my top 3 are? I'll let you guess. Raven, yes, but there's another 3 that I wonder if you could guess.
Bianca?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I'll put some music on.
Some thinking music. I'm definitely not going to get this.
Camp.
Southern.
Southern.
Camp and Southern. Oh, I don't bloody know, girl. Oh, no.
Come on.
You can try and describe
You can get
them.
there. Back rolls.
Back rolls.
Oh, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Alyssa for me.
Yeah, she's heaven.
Besides Raven.
She messages me on Instagram
Stop
every
it.
now and then. And it's just like, she'll like a picture and then send it to me. And then send another love heart and be like, love and light. It's so good. And then she messaged me one day and she's like, who does your foam wigs? So then I gave her Filmer's details and now she's wearing some of Filmer's wigs.
Oh.
But it's like, she just randomly would go, love and light.
Oh.
I'm like,
I
okay.
need love and light from Alyssa Edwards. I'll pay for that. If that was a cameo service, I should get a text message every now and then just says love and light from Alyssa Edwards.
It's heaven.
I don't know. She's my I just think because she's a proper traditional showgirl.
But she's also on another planet.
Totally. The show must go on.
Yeah.
And I watch her disassociate every now and then, and I really get that. And I'll watch her and she'll just be like,
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
Do you know they used to have this trick when they'd bring her out to Australia because she'd kind of relax a bit and people want to see her do
Yeah.
full Alyssa. So every time they'd book her, they'd put a dancing queen before her and she'd watch them and go, and then go out and go
so clever.
yeah, and she'd amp up her show 20-fold. Because other times she'd come and she'd just, which everyone loved regardless, she'd just talk on a microphone for half an hour and she'd be like, thank you. And I was like, what?
Just spins. Spin, twirl, twirl, twirl.
But
Yeah.
it's a little trick they used to have to
Oh,
get her
I
to
love that.
yeah.
She's one of my faves. And I also love Detox for the fashion, for the
Oh,
looks.
yes.
Detox for me and totally transformed the
Yeah.
body with plastic surgery for
Oh.
the art.
So I toured with Detox
Oh,
last
I love
year.
this. You can just say I tour with just such a great
and she's
flex.
coming back
Go.
to tour. We have a Halloween tour this year in Australia, and she's going to be on that with me as
Oh,
well.
my God, amazing.
And I've known her for years. She was one that always had a time of day for me before I was ever on Drag Race.
Yeah.
She was always so wonderful and so nice. And if she was ever in Melbourne, she'd make sure to come and say hi and blah blah blah. But touring with her, she is mother hen.
Oh.
She is so lovely and
Really?
so caring. Yeah.
I love that.
She's so nice. She's just walking around in her silk pajamas all the time. Doesn't matter where. Like, we're just at the airport and she's just in her silk pajamas with a pair of glasses on. She's like, what?
Oh,
and I'm
heaven.
like, heaven. Oh, it's
Heaven
so good.
and Alaska.
Bye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're my
yeah.
faves.
Yeah. You
yeah.
picked some good ones.
Yeah, they're my absolute all-time faves.
I think honestly, like post those early seasons, we haven't seen any queens, not many, be able to like retain that like stardom, you know? And it's weird because even more people are watching Drag Race now than ever before. And not as many people watched back then, but they're still like the big names. It's crazy.
No, I agree. I don't know. For me, because also all of the TikTok queens have started coming through.
Yes.
Like those twins, which were I found insufferable.
Yeah.
The pony. Trot.
Look.
I found them insufferable. But I agree. And also this season of All Stars, I'm finding it hard to watch.
Well, the scary thing with the new seasons of Drag Race is they've used up all the drag queens.
No,
And
when are you going to do an All Stars?
when they asked me.
Will you do it?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Your redemption?
I definitely would do an All Stars because I've already experienced the absolute worst. But it's true because I've already lost. So, like, what are you going to do? Send me home again? Okay, at least I got a promo picture this
No,
time.
but you're polished enough. Like, I would be happy to send either you, Karen, or Hannah. They're the only three that I've seen that for me are polished and camp enough. Everything is in its place.
Yeah, because it's even like with Canada, they sent over Anita. So we still didn't get any Aussie. We haven't had any Aussie representation yet. So.
Oh, Brooklyn. I've got a soft spot for Brooklyn in and out of drag, I have to say.
She's lovely.
Woo!
She's the same. So the 1 year at DragCon, before I was on Drag Race, it was DragCon New York 2000 and I'm going to say 18.
Gosh.
Probably 19. And Rue would always do a ribbon cutting.
Yes.
And I was there and Brooklyn grabbed me and put me right next to them and held me there. She's like, they're not going to move me because it was just like after her season had aired and put me like next to her and Nina West and held me there. So then all these pictures was like me and RuPaul. And I got to like go home and be like, hey, it's me and RuPaul before anything had ever happened.
Amazing.
And that was because of Brooklyn. Because she's like, nope, you go there. Because she had like, we'd had conversations back and forth for years before, like she was even on the show. So
oh God. I love hearing queens like that behind the scenes.
So nice.
Who's an absolute
me.
No, you don't have to tell me. Don't ruin it. And if they want to be, they can be. They're a drag queen.
Exactly.
Cleansing Harp. So, let's talk about your podcast.
Yes.
Which I love.
Concealed with me, Art Simone. Yeah.
But what I love is, and I'm talking to you when we're off air, the most recent one was with a forensic cleaner. And you really just went into game show host.
Yeah, got to.
Most deaths, but just saying the most awful, god-awful things.
Yeah, you got to listen to one where I actually got it right because I never get it right.
So explain the premise.
Yeah, so Concealed, the premise is that I get put into a room with a stranger, everyday Australian.
And you're in full drag.
In full drag. Get put into a room with a stranger, everyday Australian, just look like.
Oh, your intro fucking sent me. Most people are just boring.
Yes.
Most people, there's not much about them. They're not very special. They look shit, but sometimes they look shit and they're not.
Exactly. So I get put in a room with someone I've never met before in my life. The producers grab them and they put them in, and I get to ask them 3 questions. And from the answers to those 3 questions, I have to determine what it is they're concealing from me. And it can be, a hidden talent, a job, a skill set, something that's happened to them, anything wild. And I, they answer the 3 questions, and then I try and guess it. That episode I did.
You got it straight away.
I know, but sometimes I don't at all. But that's because sometimes it links up that it's someone that I have a weird, like, morbid fascination with. And that was one where I was like, I've watched so many videos about these crime scene cleanings. But the whole idea is we then, get to chat to them and they get to tell us what it is that makes them special and we interview them. But the whole idea is, I forget that my life is crazy and weird because it's not till I step out that I go, oh, it's a bit strange. There must be other people out there like me. So we bring them into this space, and these are people that might get, negative criticisms about who they are or what they do as a job. But, one of our early ones in the first season was a taxidermist. And she'd gotten so much hate because they're like, you're killing and butchering things and all this stuff. But we bring them into this inclusive space where we get to celebrate them for their differences. And I think that's something I can relate to as a drag artist, is being like, okay, people think I'm a bit weird sometimes and don't like what I do.
You take the othered and...
Yeah.
Bring them in.
Yeah. So, and then we get to celebrate them for it. And there's been some real fun, wacky things, you know. We had like a competitive eater on the first season. So she ate like 6 cupcakes in 30 seconds
Oh, I
in front of
saw
me.
that.
Yeah.
She was a tiny little
Oh,
thing.
my little.
She was and you had a knife and fork and she was just shoving it in.
Oh, my God.
And was it milk she was drinking?
Yes.
Is that a technique?
Yeah, apparently.
What
I
does
don't
it do? Dampen the gag reflex?
I don't know. And the weird thing that she said to me, I was like, oh, my God, so you mustn't eat before, you know. She's like, no. You have to eat to stretch your stomach out. So she increases the size of all her meals before she does like an eating competition. See, there's all the hard facts you need to know, all right?
Mate.
Interesting.
No, every episode, and you ask really great questions. I noticed that because sometimes, you know, you listen to these things and there's set and forget questions. But every time I thought, yeah, but what does blood and piss smell like as a combo? You then ask that question. That's fabulous.
Yeah, it's great.
You've got a real sense for it. You're a little truffle pig with that disgusting information. Yeah, I could tell. You were smelling it. You were loving it. So you're in second season now?
Yes.
And what else? Give me, what's been your other favourite one besides the death cleaner?
Well, the first episode was the puppeteer and voice actress who was Mixie in The Ferals.
The Ferals.
Yes. The Ferals.
Oh, my Lord.
Because I've got Ferals tattoos. And I didn't know that, like, they'd already, like, I didn't know she was going to be there. And because I don't know what she looks like because she's a bloody puppet, isn't she? Mm-hmm. And that was heaven. And then she got, you know, like, Modigliana to, like, join the call and say hello to me. And I was squirming. But then she also revealed that, like, she worked on Bananas in Pajamas and, like, played the magpie and the tortoise and this. And then she was, like, the Dolmio commercials with, you know, the Dolmio Grin, you know, the puppets.
Yes.
She was, like, the Dolmio girl. And she's had so many, like, iconic Australian, like, pop culture things.
I would love to be a voice actor.
Oh.
Just everyone would sound like Kath, though.
But then she was like, because she puppeteers as well, and she was saying how.
Oh, she does actual.
She was the,
She has her hand up the butt.
Yes.
Yes.
And she's now a remedial massage therapist.
I was
going to
say she'd have strong forearms.
Yeah.
Yes.
But she's also, like, done puppeteering for other people's voices. Like, so she did, like, an ad for something in the States, but Christopher Walken was the voice of, like, a squirrel or something, and she played the puppet.
I love
Camp.
that. Oh,
so good.
So where are we hearing this podcast? Everywhere?
Everywhere. You know, just search Conceal with Art Simone, will be there.
Yeah, we'll put all the links everywhere.
Go. Tap.
You'll get a bunch of that. You'll get a bunch of middle-aged straight women coming at you.
Hello.
On that topic, actually, good segue. I want to have a proper conversation about the drag community's attitude toward women like me.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Well, we love you.
Well, no, not me specifically.
No,
I know. I'm beloved.
But we love the well-behaved ones. We think you're cool. You come to our shows, you support us.
Right.
But if we're going to
go to this, speak to this.
If we're going to bring it back to what we were talking about earlier, like, this demographic has been coming and supporting us and seeing our shows for so long, but they're all the ones that are silent at the moment when we need their help. It's like,
not me.
No, not you. But it's like,
it's true.
It's a large portion of them. It's all fun to bring your girls to the brunch and be like, oh, camp, be like, oh, drag queen, Instagram photo. But they're all the people that are very quiet at the moment when all this negative stuff is happening towards the drag and trans community. It's like, you can't have one without the other, babe. Because if all these gigs stop, you can't come to brunch anymore, doll.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
I think that's the only thought in our heads at the moment.
Yeah.
It's like, we need our allies.
Yeah.
You know?
You'll be happy to know a large group of MSolators were very vocal with the Eltham Library Rock Hudson situation. Good. A lot of them drove a couple hours to go and attend.
Good.
So we do have, I do have attracted drag lovers and brought drag to that community, but I always feel a bit self-conscious talking about, you know, I often see in the press women, oh, I love Drag Race. I'm a Drag Race super fan. And I just feel
I watch RuPaul's.
Yeah. Oh, no, RuPaul's.
Yeah, RuPaul's, yeah. Can you do a death drop? My God.
Yeah, yes, queen, yes.
Because I did bloody hens parties for 10 years. My present to myself after Drag Race was no more hens parties. I said, I've done this.
I would ban them if I owned a drag bar.
I never want to stand in a room
with hens.
With hens ever again.
I think I'd rather
If I've done your hens party, it was a great time. But I've just left that behind me.
Yes.
Because, we'd be standing there and be like, we watch RuPaul. This was before I was on the show, right? And we didn't even have it. You know, we love Drag Race. I'm like, cool. All right. Yep. Beautiful. Anyway. And they're like, can you do a death drop? Why are you doing a death drop? Do a death drop. And I'm like, go make your Play-Doh penis and shut the fuck up, all right? Come on.
Your plaster of Paris penis.
Come on. We're going to make a toilet paper wedding dress and you're going to love it.
Oh, God.
All right? Go on.
That's good. Well, that's a fair call. I agree. I
the
think
Play-Doh penis or the...
yeah, the Play-Doh penis, but also show up pictures.
Yes, show up.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
and I think my community will hear that especially. But I genuinely have loved drag from the moment I was exposed to it as a 5-year-old. But I give about 10% of my love and fandom within my Instagram.
Yes.
And publicly, because I do feel self-conscious about it, because I don't want the drag community to not like me.
What is it? But how? Where,
you know what
where's
I
this
mean?
coming from though? Like, why do you think they wouldn't like it?
Because I read so much criticism of
No, the
women
people who
like
don't-
me,
Oh,
not
really?
me. Yeah, like I'm part of
I
a
just
Facebook
don't like
group.
I don't like the little teenagers on the Twitter.
Yeah,
Oh, I sounded so old then.
you are. Oh, I don't like the little teenagers on the Twitter.
On them ticky-tockies. No, but it's like the rancid little like teens that are like 13, 14 that are like, nah, cancel her, you're going to die, mate. You're like, shut up.
Well,
but
we did
I
have
don't
the
like
most
ladies.
controversial seasons of all time.
Oh, my God.
That was extraordinary. There were gollywog tattoos.
One thing
there was
after another.
Nazi, there was cultural appropriation. Really,
Try being in the
Scarlett-
room, love.
Oh, babe.
Try
Scarlett
being
didn't-
in the fucking room. Watching this go down. There's like a shot of me and Etcetera looking at each other on the main stage being like, what the fuck is happening?
If you're not across it, one drag queen in particular who I've worked with before, she is a WA-based queen and didn't leave a culture unappropriated. Left no culture unturned.
She tried them all.
Look, she was equal opportunist in her racism.
That's true.
Didn't leave anyone out.
She's like,
So inclusive.
Oh, she made sure to document every single one.
Jesus, she's so talented though.
I know.
I have to say, it's hard separating it when you're like, I mean, the casual racism, terrible, but fuck, she can sew.
Yeah,
And it was,
yeah.
I found myself being like, no, but can I just see what she would have worn for that week, please? But yeah, no. And then we had the tattoos of a friend of ours.
Yes.
But it was just wild that the first 2 seasons marred in controversy before it even began. I mean,
Oh no, off that. Anyway,
Tell me. No,
I can't hear.
This is an
Yes,
off
put a
microphone
footnote for
discussion.
later on,
Oh,
okay?
I will. I'll put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. We're done. I feel like I've had you long enough. I have had you for 40 minutes. Fucking hell.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't apologise. I could go for another 2 hours. Is there anything else? You've got a large audience at your disposal right now. What do you want to say?
Well, if you like Drag Race, we do a show called Kick-Ons as well, which is up on YouTube.
We'll be linking. All the links will be coming.
Yes,
don't worry.
so where we recap Drag Race
I
Down
love
Under,
Kick-Ons.
but we're currently releasing, we did a whole bunch of episodes live from Drag Expo Sydney.
Yes.
So we're slowly dripping those out until it's time for season 3, then we back up and doing the full episodes again.
I'll have to come on Kick-Ons.
Oh, you'll have to.
I demand it.
Your set's a lot nicer than mine.
You can film Kick-Ons here if you
Oh,
want.
perfect. All right, we'll do a special edition. But yeah, go and check out Kick-Ons. It's really, really fun. And the other thing that I love about it is it's shining a spotlight on other drag artists, you know, that are outside of the world of Drag Race. If you go back and watch season 1 that I did, it's same with the Wow Presents show. I had Highway to Heal, which I spotlighted drag artists that I love. It's what I always like to do is shine my spotlight on others as well, to be like, check
Good.
out these. They're pretty
Shine
cool.
on yourself first.
Yeah,
And then
well,
you've had your moment, shine it out.
It's a big spotlight, so they can
always near
stand
it.
over behind the shoulder and just get a
They
bit
can
of
support me.
Yeah. Actually, they get a torch, but it's still the thought that counts.
I'll turn my phone light on.
Yeah.
They can see. Fuck them. They got to fight for it. Art Simone, you're a fucking delight. Everyone needs to listen to the podcast.
Yes,
Concealed.
yes.
Check out Kick-Ons.
Kick-Ons.
And just really
Come
go
to shows.
Go to your shows.
Come to Melbourne Drag Expo, where
When's that?
it is in August.
What date?
That's a very good question.
I'm away.
I think it's
I'm
like the
going to
12th
see
and
Madonna
13th or
in New
something.
York.
Of course you are.
Madison Square Garden.
Oh, what's your thoughts on the new song? I heard it in the car on the way
Volga?
here. Yeah,
That one?
Volga. Yeah.
It's no padam.
No.
I just wanted it to be a bit happier.
And from like, especially one person who can really sing,
Well, Sam.
Sam. Yeah, I mean, like, I thought Sam
I
might
agree.
sing the chorus.
Yeah, there was no singing.
No.
No.
But also, I could imagine being cooked and dancing to that at like
I
5
did think
a.m.
that.
in a nightclub.
Yeah, it hit my kids different.
Yeah.
Who would do that?
But they played it, at midday on a Monday while I was driving here.
It was a bit like
Yeah. I was in the traffic and I was
something's
like,
missing. No, I think
is this
about
a long intro? Or?
Cooked. It's a 3 a.m. cooked.
Yeah.
Whereas Padam's start of the night.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
Padam.
Padam.
Have
Have you got to act to it yet? Are you
Oh,
gonna do
no,
it?
I couldn't possibly.
Oh, you have to.
No,
You're
'cause
Canada, you're
every
Australian.
drag queen is
Yeah, but we
doing-
want your version.
Oh, I know. But I listened to it like crazy when it first came out. And then I gave it a rest and I just started listening
It's like
again
crack.
the last 2 days. And I'm like,
It's so clever.
It just hits good, doesn't it?
Because it ends before you're ready.
Yeah.
So you just play it again.
Oh, it's on repeat. Yeah.
Oh.
It's already in, you know how I'm a iTunes music person, but rude.
No, that's fine. I'm not with Spotify anymore.
Oh, good.
I'm independent.
But I've already got my top songs of 23, and it's second.
In June, and it's been out 2 weeks. Love it. She's breaking
It's already surpassed everything.
No, I get hyperfixation songs.
Yeah.
And I play them till they break.
Yeah.
And I'm just when I heard it, I was like, and it's all Elio wants to listen to. So the two of us just on the way to Kinder, I was just, won't be playing Volga on the way to Kinder though.
I
No,
don't
doing
think
that.
so.
Thank you so much for coming in full drag in the middle of the day.
Oh, why not?
I'm such a fan.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you.
Installation Extra.
Oh, that was so good. Go check out Art on all her socials. Make sure you're following, listen to the podcast. Make sure you go check out Kick-Ons on YouTube. And hey, thank you so much. If you're here on the free trial, I hope you're enjoying our offerings. We're going to keep putting that stuff out in the hope that we're going to win you over and you're going to hang around once the free trial period is over. And if you're already a subscriber, I see you. I love it. I appreciate it. And we'll be back next week with an all-new Emsolation Extra. Ask Me Anything. We'll be back, as always, on Friday also. And a regular Emsolation episode will be coming out on Thursday with Michael Lucas live from the UK. We have to chat Beyonce, obviously. Bye, guys. It's Emsolation Extra.